so much about myself is that through a challenge group, I have really evolved into my most authentic self. Um, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story and how I got into a challenge group, because that's really how you learn and how you find the connection. So I'm not going to come in here and be like, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it. What I'm going to tell you is this: it's not a complicated thing to get happy, it's a complicated thing to stay stuck. That's the difference. And so the fact that you guys said yes in the month of March speaks massive volume to me, because March was probably the hardest month we all had to endure mentally, with changes going in and out, schools dropping out left and right, jobs furloughing, like there was a lot of stuff happening. And now that we've kind of adjusted a little bit, we're still going to be getting some big curveballs. I know for me personally, I live in Maryland, and we are going to be hit hard. I don't know if you guys heard, but Governor Hogan, who is our governor here in Maryland, just stated that we will probably be the next state that gets hit the biggest. And it's not a surprise, but I was on the call last night with Chris Downing, and I don't know if you guys were on that or not, but if you weren't, I put the replay in our team page. He said something very profound that really spoke to my heart, and it was, if you can't touch this virus and you can't see this virus, how does it have so much control over you? And then it got me thinking to this call that was going to be the very next night, and here we are. And I got to thinking, and I was like, if I put myself back in that challenger's shoe, which, here's the deal, I am a coach, but I'm no different than you. I post every day, I wake up every day. I'm not perfect every day, but I never quit. I never find my exit strategy, because I do believe that what we have found and what is in our hands personally is the total long-term lifestyle solution. And people that diet, people that do these fast tracks, which I was famous for back in the day, and I don't know if you guys were, but if you did one of those fad diets, write it in the chat. I know I did South Beach, I did Atkins, aka keto, aka no carb, low carb. Like they're just fancier names. I did Slim Fast, which is just tons of sugar, but the names are very catchy. And when you don't do your research and you just gravitate, you end up letting go. And so with all of those things, I never learned self-love. I never learned how to love myself. I never learned how to set myself free. And I want you guys to do an activity with me for your very first setting yourself free. Now, you might have some people in the background. Maybe you're not dressed right now, but if you have nothing going on right now, I want you to show yourself on this video screen, because part of this group is showing who you are. Part of the step that I want to teach you is to stop hiding behind a screen. And this little metaphor speaks a lot of volume, because most of our life, we tend to hide behind a screen, a mask. It's not us, and it's a protection mechanism, right? And so tonight, by you simply flipping your screen and saying, oh, she's calling me out, I'm calling you in. See, that's the mental script that you have to get rid of. You're not in here for weight loss. You're in it because, let me ask you, and you can go in the chat, did it scare you to show yourself on the screen? Did it make you nervous? Did you have every intention of not showing yourself on the screen? You see, here's the difference. I'm going to put you into the uncomfortable zones that you have not allowed yourself to be into. And now that you're here, and now that you hit that button, and I encouraged you to hit that button, how do you feel now? Was it not so bad? Are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed of yourself? Are you less than you were just seconds ago? How are we now? How are we now? We're fine, right? Let me tell you what was more hard in that activity. It was more hard to sit behind your name and to get in front of your name. Your name is Jennifer. Your name is Robin. You have to stand forward into who you are. The activities in this group are going to make you take your mask off, and you're going to remember this activity. It's going to make you put yourself in front of your name. You're going to start standing taller. You're going to start arching your back more. You're going to start smiling more. And you might say, gosh, she's so far ahead of me. I'm never going to get there. Well, let me tell you something. What a full circle moment that I'm having. Because 5 years ago, 50 pounds heavier ago, I was on my very first call feeling the same exact way. And I was asked to face my name. So thank you for showing me that when I stayed with it and someone told me all you have to do is show up no matter what, here I am 5 years later. That should make you feel so excited that if all you do is show up, you will have what you seek. And here's the deal. There's a little trick for you guys. You didn't really join my group for your weight loss goals. You joined my group because you were tired of wearing a wishbone and you needed your backbone. You joined my group because you were tired of not having your voice and you wanted to find it. You joined my group because you were tired of putting yourself in a corner and you were tired of yourself by hiding behind your name. All you have to do is show up. What happens is this is what makes it hard. I can't. I don't have time. I don't have money. It's not really a good time. But all the while when you say those things, and I have to say I was like that, right? You walk away with, damn, why did I do that again? Damn, why did I do that again? I can do it. I'm BSing. I know I can. I'm just not doing it because I'm afraid and I'm comfortable where I'm at. Because right now where you sit before this challenge pack and before my group, Believe Nation, you were comfortable, right? You were comfortable. I'll be right there. You were comfortable. You had an identity. That was a comfortable spot, right? You knew it. You grew into it. You've nurtured it for years. It's who you are. And the only thing you've ever done up until this point has looked off to the distance and said, maybe next month. Yeah, next month is going to be my month. Can you come up? I will be there in a minute. Later? Next month will be my month. Next month will be the month. And then you know what happens? You're scrolling Facebook again. You're scrolling Instagram again. You're putting someone's person's name in the search and you're looking at them and you're liking their posts, but you don't like them because you're afraid they're going to reach out to you. And then when they reach out to you, you ghost them. And then when you ghost them, you finally reach out back when finally you've just had enough. And that's part of the process. So it's all part of the process, right? I'd like to tell you, I ghosted my coach, Demetria, 15 times. 15. And she was like, well, it wasn't lucky number 13. It was lucky number 15. And I did the same thing too. I watched her. I watched my other friend, Lisa Marcinkowski. I went to high school with them and I watched them. But you know what I saw most was I saw their smiles evolving, right? I saw their smiles evolve and I saw them going up and down in their weight. I saw them drinking this nutrition. But what I really paid attention to was the consistency and the growing of their smile. That's what I paid attention to. So here's what I want to welcome you into. Everything you've ever taught yourself about dieting, please throw it in the trash. Go get a piece of paper tonight and you have to do a physical activity. You need to write down everything that you have thought of prior to tonight about a diet and how you want to live in that. And write it all down. And then if you can either put it in a big pot and physically burn it, please be safe, or you can shred it into 1,000 pieces and rip that MFer up and throw it in the trash. Because up until today, it served you to come into my team. So thank it for all the years of service, right? You're here now. You are not allowed from here on out to quit on yourself. I refuse for you to quit on yourself. Because if you quit on yourself again, you put another tally mark of, I'm not worth it. I don't belong here. It's okay. I'll do better next time. There is no other next time. You could die tomorrow. And you know what's funny? I was just talking about this on my walk outside. If you guys saw me on my Facebook or Instagram stories, we live in a nation of freaking excuses. And if you circle around and pay attention, it's pathetic. 90% of people will say all these one-liners, and I've said them. So I'm speaking on, like, I've done it, right? And we all do it. I don't have time. I don't have money. I can't do it. I'm never going to be like this. Da, 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 da. But here's the deal. How many of you on this group tonight are moms? I'm a mom. How many of you tell your children, literally tell your children, get back up and ride the bike. Don't fall down. Don't talk like that. You know how special you are. How dare you do that? You are awesome. You are beautiful. You are worth it. But here's the deal. I'm going to say this nicely because I said this to my own self. You guys know that I say it with love. You're a liar and you're a fraud. Because if you're not doing it to yourself, you have no right to even teach your children that. My daughter, let me give you an example. And here's the blessing with COVID-19. I'm a hairdresser and I'm a mom and I'm a wellness coach. I became a wellness coach because it was the natural organic progression into my wellness journey. It just was what naturally followed suit and I never saw it coming. But my daughter had her baby dolls lined up. I don't know if you heard the story that I said, but she had her baby dolls lined up. And she said to me, Mom, I'm going to show my little girls how to brush their teeth. And I said to her, that's a great idea. Let's make sure we floss. And I'm breaking out like the floss and like, the mouthwash and the toothpaste and all this other crap, right? And she starts to go to her one of her little girls. And I said, wait a minute. Why are you brushing her teeth first? And she goes, because I have to show her. I said, did you brush yours yet? No. And she looked at me like, why? Like she's playing mother-daughter. They're learning it at the age of 4. You've been learning this technique since you were 4, okay? You must give yourself enough time to unwire. This is deep-seated, hard wiring that is in you guys, in the fabric and cells of your body. You're not going to change this overnight. You're not going to change this in a year. You're not going to change this in 2 years. It is ongoing, and there is no finish line. The finish line is when you die. So let go of a finish line and let go of when you think it's supposed to show the roots and the flavor. Because you're not in charge of when it shows itself. What you are in charge of is showing up every day to make sure it gets a chance to come into your life. Do you see the difference? So my daughter was brushing the baby's teeth and I made her stop and I said, you need to brush your teeth first. In fact, why don't you put them over there and show them how awesome you brush your teeth? And here's a flosser. Show them how to floss. And then you can help your babies. That's what COVID-19 is teaching me. See, it's not so horrible, right? You can't touch this virus, so don't let it have all this control over you. You can't touch this thing, okay? So don't let it get so in you. You also have something that you can't touch either besides COVID-19. You can't touch your joy, but you can grow your joy. You can build on your joy and your foundation of where you stand. You can start that, and then you start to feel that. And then when you start to feel that, you want more of that. So that example of my daughter is an example of what you have to do in this group. When it's time to work out, it's time to work out, and you tell your kid or kids, this is my time. Here's your iPad. It's not a big deal, you guys, they have their iPads, okay? Give it a break. It's okay, right? Hey guys, mom's having her nutrition. Who would like some? Pour them some of your cup. Give them some of that nutrition. Why not? 76 superfoods. You know what this, I don't know if you guys know, but that's building immune systems right now. We get always everyday bad bacteria coming into our bodies and we fight for the good bacteria, right? Farmers have lost their soil, the nutrients of the soil. 50 years ago was a lot better. Ozone layer, da 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 da, life's gone down. Now, how can you get even, you can't even get into the produce section with nothing there now. It's pretty scary stuff right now. You can't even get, like, who's buying jicama? I was like, come on. I'm like, jicama? Really? Like, I eat jicama. I didn't think everybody else did. But now, because all this is happening, jicama is gone. Like, it's like, really? Right? But I don't even worry now, because for 5 years, I've been doing nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. That bag is not a diet drink. That bag is nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. And when you fire your body with bomb-ass nutrition, you're going to reverse in age. If you go to my post tonight, you're going to see my post when I was 35 years old versus 40. I feel like I've reversed in age. And I also feel like I've gained my confidence. And that's why you're in this group, because you want what I want. And I want to stand side by side with you. I don't want to teach you. I want you to stand next to me and be like, hell yes, I'm with this girl. Hell yes, I'm with this team. Hell yes, I'm going to make myself something. And when I have my down days, hell yes, I'm still going to show up, because you know why? It's part of life, right? You can't have an expectation that you're going to be perfect in here. You can't have an expectation that the weight's going to drop off in a month. You might be disappointed, right? But is that your exit strategy? Or is that your empowering strategy? See, that's that mindset I want you guys to develop, right? The heaviest weight you carry right now on your body is what sits in between your ears. That's the heaviest weight you're ever going to carry. And so your first goal in my group is to be consistent. I don't care about your weight loss goal right now. Yes, I do, but no, I don't. You can't get to there until you start here. Does that make sense? Right? Let's go back to our kids with training wheels, right? Are you going to throw your kid on a two-wheeler and be like, go on, girlfriend, right? You're gonna be like, nope, let's get a helmet on. Let's get some knee pads. Let's get the training wheels on. Let me hold the back of the bike for you. I know you don't need it, but there's a hill coming. Let me just do the, like, right? I'm using that analogy because you're probably going to see a bike here in your near future, people outside, and it's going to jog your memory. You have to start with the training wheels and the helmet and someone holding you behind you. And then eventually you're going to be like, I don't think you need to hold me, but I could use a training wheel still, right? And then all of a sudden, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to try and take those training wheels off today. And then before you know it, you're going to be riding this bike all damn day like a boss, because you finally did one thing: self-acceptance. The scale will not reflect what you want until you reflect what you want inside. And so I want you to tell me in the chat right now, or you can unmute yourself if you want to use your voice. And I welcome you to do something uncomfortable, because it's not so bad, okay? But what do you want? Like, what do you want? But don't give me surface level. I don't want, I like 20 pounds and to be happy. And I'd like to, like, you know, eat better at my girlfriend's and, like, you know, stuff like that. Like, that's so surface level. I can't. I need deep. Like, I need deep. Like, I need this. I need this. Stacy, I don't even get undressed with my husband because, well, frankly, let's just be honest, I don't even have sex anymore because I'm ashamed of my body. I have to have the lights off. Like, I need deep, okay? And you're safe in here because we're in here. So get deep with me, because this is where you start to grow your realness. That's what makes this group so freaking epic. All right, Diane's trying to get in here. Let's see her. There she is. There's Diane. Diane, we have a dare for you. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to, if you're not naked and having like a naked girl party, you have to like show yourself. Because that was our first exercise, that we were going to not hide behind our name. We were going to step in front of our name. And so all you have to do is there's a little video camera, and you just there's like a little line on it, and you just click it. Okay, so it says, I want to be confident. I want to look in the mirror and be happy when I see myself. Okay, that's a good one too. And I want to be confident. So give me deeper. Give me a little bit deeper. Go into both of those things for me. When you look in the mirror, I want to ask you, when you look in the mirror as soon as you get out of the shower, tell me what you think about yourself. And when you want to be confident, what do you mean by that? Like, give me a scenario. Give me something that really just like you need to eliminate that from your life. You need to eliminate something to get that, right? So that's what we're doing in here. You have like, somebody said like an elimination diet, it's like a food thing. That's not what we do, okay? You can't do that. You have to eliminate the things in your life that are now happening that aren't giving you the results you need for your life. I use like the sex example. The other example I'm going to use is like when you go to the pool or the beach and you wrap your towel around your backside when you have to make it to the bathroom because you're so insecure about your backside that you would not dare walk across the pool to those other pretty girls. You make sure you sit over on the right-hand side because the pretty girls are always on the left. And what's really shitty about the pool is that you're with your daughter and you're not even engaged with her because you keep looking over at the other side. So you've robbed your moment with your loved one. That's what you have to eliminate. So when you go to the pool, you're going to the pool, right? Those are the things that you're in here for. Like, that's the real. That's the real. And I'm always going to challenge you guys to get to the real because I want you to get to your real. One life, one chance. And if there's anything that I've learned from my father's suicide is now is the only time you have. And when people say right now, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm so stressed right now, I'm so thankful that we're in here working on ourselves. Do you realize that once this is done and we go back to another new normal, whatever that may be, you get to bring this back with you? So you're at home right now, right? More than you have been. Maybe you're going to work, maybe you're not, but you're at home more than you've ever been, right? What are you going to use this time for? How are you going to see the silver linings? Who are you going to lean into? And by the way, this is a freaking kick-ass group. You guys, these new people, like, I see runners and leaders out of the gate. So let's see here. I want to be proud of my hard work. I am proud of myself, my accomplishments, etc. But I want my girls to look at me and say, damn, my mom is a hard worker and strong and beautiful. She didn't give up on herself. I love that. See, that made me feel it. That made me feel that. Do you see the difference when you get real and you don't stay surface level? We just did 2 awesome exercises, you guys. I made you flip your screen to be in front of your name, and I asked you to get more real with me. You felt safe and scared at the same time. So I want you to realize you will always have fear and you will always be okay. Fear sometimes has to be your co-pilot in order to drive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Fear always has to be your co-pilot so you can drive. I never worry about my kids now, about what they're going to be like or how they're going to walk or how they're going to talk, because I'm working on me. And I don't have to do this. I just have to do it for myself. Right? And that is an automatic, that'll be a byproduct of my kids. So let's talk about your physical fitness real quickly. If you show up in my group every day, now I'm going to give you some real secret sauce here. The people that do not post every single day, I promise you, dear sweet Lord, please listen to me when I say this, because most people don't. Get into the habit of posting at least 3 to 4 times, if not every day, all day. Okay? One time. It can be a food pic. It can be your after workout pic. It can be maybe you're calling yourself out and be like, I was just about to self-sabotage. And like, you have to do one post, because here's the deal. From 5 years worth of doing this, I'll tell you, here's what happens. And I've logged it. And I hate logging it because I can see the numbers. When people don't post, 1, 2, 3 to 4 months into it, I get a cancellation email. If you want that to happen, that will, like, I'm not trying to pressure you, but I'm encouraging you. Like, everything has a number, right? Everything has a number, right? Cholesterol, blood pressure. Like, so we live by numbers. I see 80% of the people let go in month 3 or 4. Month 3 and 4. You have to be the 10% because the 90% drops. If you don't want to go back to the version of you and you want to keep evolving, you have to start growing the roots into your being in this community. Robin actually is a local of mine. Robin sits in the hairdresser chair next to me. Robin is a friend of mine. I've met through Sheer Reflections, and she has a daughter, and she's a single mama, and she is amazing, just like the rest of you guys. And what I love most about this whole group is that everybody finally got to saying yes. And you know what's so cool about our group is that nobody will give up on you. I don't know how many times I've invited you guys along the way, but I never gave up on an invite. I don't sell Beachbody products, and I think you guys know that by now. I say, come join me. It's so much fun. Let's do this, right? Like that's me, right? The products you can buy anywhere. You can buy on the website. You can buy on Amazon. You can do all that, but you don't get the community. You don't get the community. And that is the bread and butter to your success. It's the community, right? And it's what you want to be. Be a leader. Oh my God, I've been saying no to Stacy for at least a year. But you know what's crazy though? It's part of your process, right? Here's the deal. I remember when I first went to therapy after my dad took his life. And I had this like wild notion that I was going to be in therapy for like 6 months and then I was out. I was like, all right, 6 months of therapy, I'm going to be fine. Like I'll be back to my normal self. And the therapist looked at me and she goes, you think 6 months? And I was like, yeah. I was like, 6 months, I'll just, cry a little bit and heal myself. She's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And I was adamant that that was going to happen. But there I was for 13 years. But then when I left therapy, I had to make sure I had some type of platform, insert Beachbody. And my very first challenge group was Passion Fire Empire. And I'm here. And you're here. And you know what I love most? And I want you guys to think about this too. If I didn't keep up with my wellness journey, and if I quit on myself, tonight's call would not be happening. It wouldn't be happening. And you wouldn't have your moment. Like that's what this does. So if you don't want to give up on you and you want to see what this looks like, do what I did on October 23rd, 2015, when my box came to my very first, my front porch. I grabbed the box and John goes, what's your plan? I said, I don't have one. I'm just going to show up every day like Demetria said. She told me to post once a day in the challenge group and drink my Shakeology and press play and learn how to meal prep. That's all she told me to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And progress pictures. That's all she told me to do. And I'm here. And I'm 50 pounds lighter. And I'm happy. And I've healed a lot of my past, which is that's what you do. And you stay committed to your process because at the end of the day, you never stop your wellness. You can't stop your health, right? What do you want for your next 10 years? How do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 6 months, right? Yeah, think about those things. It's every day in here. It's a deposit. When I go to the doctor now, every year prior to the last 5 years, I was getting, Stacy, your blood pressure is a little high. Stacy, do you smoke still? Stacy, how's your drinking going? Because all these numbers are way out of place. Stacy, I need to recommend you to a hematologist. Your white blood cell count keeps going up and we don't know why. You could possibly be or have leukemia. Yeah, that was effing scary 2 years ago. So here's the deal. You also don't know what's going on your insides. I don't think we think about like how our kidneys are doing on a wellness journey. And that's a disgrace. We don't think about our lungs. We don't think about our liver. We don't think about our cholesterol or our blood pressure. All we sadly think about, not in this group anymore, we used to think about just the scale and how pretty we looked, right? That's the surface level. And think about how awful that is if you don't care about how your kidneys are functioning. Those genes won't matter when you're sitting getting your kidneys looked at. You know what I mean? we don't know what's going on the insides and what's growing in there either. So don't you want to be combating it every day and depositing it? That's the goal in this group. So guys, what program are we dedicating ourselves to? Write in the chat below. What program have you decided to say yes to? I know some of you guys are doing 10 rounds. I think someone's doing bar blend. I know you guys are doing pretty well on your Shakeology. You guys can always change your orders, and you can change them every month, your flavor. It's great. Beach bars, if you haven't tried them, try them. They're a delicious snack. My kids have them. What do we got here? Let's see. What are you guys doing right now? How long was I challenger before I became a coach? So I was a challenger for my first 9 months because I didn't know about coaching. I didn't even know coaching existed. I lost 30 pounds in my first 9 months. My very first program, I only lost 2 pounds, and I was pissed. And I thought it was crap, and I thought I was going to quit. But what I didn't do was I didn't measure. And when I measured, I actually lost 10 inches. So measure. And I also kept going. So it got better as I kept going. When I became a coach, it was actually because my husband's company went on strike with Verizon, and we were without income. And I only worked part-time as a hairdresser. And I was on my way to filling out another job application to Target because I figured Target would be good for discount on diapers and foods. And, you know, it just seemed like a good thing. But it wasn't a long-term solution. It was a short-term solution to a long-term potential problem that I was going to have. And we're here again, aren't we? With another job loss, right? I had the job loss. I filled out my unemployment form, you know? So I became a coach. I doubled down when we had nothing. I doubled down when there was no income coming in. Because what I learned from my father's suicide was if you don't double down on your life, you're going to lose. So I rolled the dice. And I said, well, I have to be healthy in order to be happy. And I have to be healthy in order to have a job. And my girlfriend said, dipshit, you do this anyways. Why don't you start getting paid? And that was Demetria. And I was like, damn. And so I listened to her for 2 hours. She had a really cool talk with me and John. And I was in. It was like, done. And I actually got better at my wellness because I started to invite people. Bar blend. I love bar blend. I think that's so great. 21-day fix. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. You're not going to be able to walk. Good luck, Jennifer. You're going to go up the stairs and cry, but it's going to be awesome. And bar blend, I freaking love it because you get like leaned out. And you know what else I love too? My balance is getting better. Like I'm getting a little, right? I know. I freaking love it. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. So here's the coolest part, you guys. You have the thread. You're never going to lose sight of this thread. This thread is for you guys to realize that, oh, I got these newbies too. I'm not the only one. This is where you guys go in there and ask questions and really lean into each other and be like, I don't know you, but we are Believe Nation. And I'm going to start believing in me. That's why I changed the name, because I was like, I believe. And now I want others to believe. I love Bar Blend and I love 21-day fix. Back in the day, my challenge pack was $160 and it was only for one DVD, 21-day fix, a set of containers, a Shakeology cup, and 1 month of Shakeology. That was it. I didn't get 6,000 workout videos. So I kind of find it funny now when people go, it's so expensive. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. It's really not. But you know what I love though? I did 21-day fix for 4 or 5 rounds, a good couple of rounds, because it taught me to like keep going. It taught me consistency. And then you know what else it taught me though? To up, like change things up. Like I would up my weight from 5 pounds to 7 pounds the next time I did it. 7 pounds to 10 pounds, right? So I kept doing that. But what was really cool about that, you guys, was that even though I did it 10,000 times and I started to get kind of bored, it was teaching me consistency. It taught me to change within the program. I could always challenge myself, but then it gave me an opportunity to focus on my meal prepping. See that? Because I mastered the shake. I mastered the working out and the consistency. I sucked at meal prepping. My meal prepping was a bag of carrots, and that's all it was. I was like, I'm a rock star. Here's my bag of carrots. I'm good. John's like, you're totally dieting, ding dong. And I was like, shut up while you eat your country breakfast with bacon and eggs and you're smelling it all on my face, you know? But it's like, That's what happened. And that's my story. And here I am. And guess what? I have treat meals. I have Trulies. I have pizza. I have burgers. I don't diet. I got my life back. I got me. I made myself come forward into my name. And that's how we're going to wrap up this call. You are now in front of your name. Don't be behind your name. Don't do that ever again. You got to draw the line in the sand and say, I'm never going to let myself down ever again. Do you know Kinsey says to me if I'm doing one move from Barbland? Do you know Barbland? Do you like Barbland? What does mommy do here? Come here. What does mommy do every day when she wakes up? What do I do?
Work out.
Right. What else do I do?
Drink energy.
Right. And what else do I do?
Go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom. That's the accurate. Take a big old dump. Yes. Because that makes me go to the bathroom. So see, my kids are honest. But you know what though? Do you like to work out?
No.
You don't, but Kenzie does. She likes it. But that's what I love. It's like they see me, right? They almost could have seen me doing other things. You know what I mean? And then me going like, oh, kids, go back inside. Don't look at mom, you know? Like, ew, I can't. But I just want you guys to know that I love you more than you know. And I don't ever want you to put on yourself ever again. You think about your wellness tonight. You think about all the things. Take that piece of paper tonight, and I want you to screenshot that piece of paper of all the things you need to eliminate from your life, and I want you to post it in our thread tonight. All the things you want to eliminate from your life. All the things. And get real. Get real. And then share them in our thread because it's private and it's sacred. And I guarantee you, you guys are going to have similar lists. And with that, that's all going to show you that you're not alone. And you're not that special, as my therapist told me, right? We are united. We are a team. We are a family. And I mean that. I mean that. You take this team and you go 5 layers deeper on yourself. And I promise you, with every program you do and every shake you drink, but if you pour yourself in the community and turn yourself into the leader of your life, and do what the coach who brought you in tells you to do, over time, you will evolve. I thank you guys for trusting me. I hope you know you can always come to me, and I'm always going to be here for you because you guys give me life too. So don't think for a second that I'm doing it because I'm doing it. I'm doing it because you breathe life into me as well. So we are a sisterhood. You guys have a good night. Post those things that you want to eliminate. Get them into our team thread, and then I want you to either rip them or burn them and celebrate that this is what you're working on. All right? Have a wonderful night. Happy Tuesday. Mañana. Bye, guys.